tonight on Si's Eyes on the Skies.
Had a little bit of a cloudy day today across Iowa. Will that continue? I'll have more about that coming up later.
Plus, Anthony is in the studio for your national forecast. All that and more as this Tuesday, November 1st edition of Si's Eyes on the Skies starts now.
It's Monday night on ISU TV, broadcasting live from Ames, Iowa. This is Si's Eyes on the Skies. ISU TV's longest-running television program brings you the weather from around the country to the heart of Iowa. The ISU Meteorology Department team of forecasters keep you ahead of the storm. From Iowa's most trusted weather team, this is Si's Eyes on the Skies.
Welcome back to Si's Eyes. I'm joined now by Dylan. Dylan, how's your day going?
Good. Been enjoying that nice weather out there. A little bit warm for November 1st, isn't it?
For sure, but I'm definitely enjoying it. I'm not a fan of the cold weather at all.
Yeah, neither am I. Looking at the highs today across the state of Iowa, pretty much all across 70 with the exception of Mason City up there up north. Got 74 here in Ames and 75 in Davenport, so pretty much in the mid-70s across the state. I'll have more about that if it continues later in the forecast.
And now it's time for tonight's weather story. Today in 1938, unseasonably warm weather came across southern Iowa, bringing temperatures into the mid-80s. High temperatures were reported at 82 in 7 stations in Des Moines, making it an all-time record. And now we turn to Anthony. Anthony, is there anything interesting going on around the country?
Thanks, Sarah. Well, if you didn't know it, you'd think it was summer outside. We're breaking records all across the country, and you can see there's some clouds moving in across Iowa and portions in the Midwest. I'll let you know if that's going to continue coming up.
Welcome back. Now we are joined by Anthony with a look at what is happening around the nation. Anthony?
Thanks, Sarah. As I mentioned, it felt like you wanted to be in a swimming pool today. It was so hot. Let's take a look at what's going on around the nation. You can see 55 degrees in Billings with some clouds, 55 in Seattle. Yeah. And this is all painting the picture of a really warm day across the Midwest and portions of the middle part of the country. Let's take a look at the Northeast. 72 degrees in Pittsburgh, 69 in Cincinnati. You can see it's a little bit warmer over here into the Ohio Valley and Michigan with 71 degrees in Chicago. 72 degrees in Pittsburgh, as I mentioned, 55 in Syracuse. And as we take a look at the Southwest, it really is getting warmer. 82 degrees in New Orleans, 76 in Little Rock, a really hot and steamy 86 degrees in Dallas. We're breaking records all across the country, as I mentioned. It's so warm for this time of year. 53 degrees in Salt Lake City, so a little bit of relief from the heat today. 70 degrees in Vegas, 63 degrees in San Francisco. And as we take a look up to the north, there's some rain and a low-pressure system spinning off the coast in the northwest. So that's going to bring some cooler temperatures like you can see here, 55 degrees in Seattle, 61 in Salem with partly cloudy skies, and overall cooler across the northwest. As we take a look at the Midwest, 61 degrees in Pierre, 62 in North Platte. Moving back to Des Moines here, 68 degrees. You can see the clouds all across the country, though. That's going to be the general trend for the next couple of days. Let's head back out to our clouds and radar. You can see all the clouds over here spinning off of the coast. This is going to start moving on to the U.S., and there's actually some snow in the mountains here. It's gotten cold enough to precipitate some snow. Clouds moving up here, you can see these, and then as we take a look over towards the eastern portion of the graphic here, lots of snow up to the north, Pennsylvania, some clouds. So generally comfortable, but some rain moving in for the latter portions of the week. Let's zoom in on here. Tuesday at 6:30 a.m., starting out the timestamp, this snow is actually going to move across the northern portions of the country and actually into Canada. So keep an eye out. It's going to be actually pretty snowy up to the north, if you can believe that. Futurecast is painting the picture here with some rain coming across the country at 7 p.m. There's the system I mentioned up in Seattle, 7 a.m. This is all going to churn around in the atmosphere and come on shore. And then over here, too, we have some rain moving across Illinois and heading into Ohio. Futurecast showing that, too. Down in Texas, we have some rain. At 6 p.m. on Thursday, that rain is still moving in. Some more down here in Mexico. Not too big of a problem. Comfortable outside. Highs tomorrow, 69 degrees in Denver, 77 in Dallas, with really warm conditions continuing across a lot of the country. Cleveland, Ohio for our Spotlight City tonight for the Game 6 of the World Series, 77 degrees on Wednesday, 59 degrees on Thursday with an 80% chance of rain. And guys, as we look at the rest of the week, cooling down but still seasonably cool for this time of year. Back to you, Sarah.
Thanks, Anthony. Now let's take a look at tonight's trivia question. What is known as the windiest city in the United States? Is it A, Chicago, Illinois, B, Jackson, Wyoming, C, Amarillo, Texas, or D, Albany, New York? And now let's take a look at the week ahead. Should we expect cooler temperatures, Dylan?
Looking at the headlines here for the next couple days, looks like we're going to have a rainy start across the area tomorrow with 60s hanging around and a mainly dry forecast. Have more about that coming up next. I'm Dylan Johnson back here with your Iowa forecast for tonight. 65 degrees here in Ames right now with east-northeast wind at 5 miles an hour. Looking at the highs today again across Iowa, we got pretty much 70 degrees right here at Sioux City, 70 degrees here in Fort Dodge, 69 is the coolest point across the state up in Mason City. Moving ahead here to the current conditions, what it's like out here right now, pretty clear out here in western Iowa, 65 up in Sioux City, 64 in Council Bluffs, 66 out here in Davenport, so pretty nice evening out there across the state. Looking at the winds are pretty light all the way around the state. Pretty much the highest point down here is Council Bluffs, coming out of the east-northeast at 10 miles an hour. So looking at the clouds and radar, pretty cloudy across the state. Looking at the clouds and radar, that's going to pick up here later in the night through early tomorrow morning. We're expecting some rain here across the state. So, looking at our futurecast here, we got a stationary front draped pretty much across the south edge here in Iowa, about up through Davenport. So jumping ahead here a few hours, get a few rain showers developing around the area here from pretty much around I-80 up north up to around Highway 20. Then we got a high pressure system up north around Sioux Falls, but we still have that stationary front draped here across southern Iowa. Moving ahead a little bit more, we're going to have that rain move out as the day progresses tomorrow as that high pressure decides to take some control here over Iowa. And pretty much for the rest of the week, we're going to have this high pressure in control all across the state. So looking at the rainfall amounts across the state, progressing through the night, we're looking at about a half an inch down here in Des Moines, about 35 hundredths in Ames, only 2 hundredths up in Fort Dodge, and really western Iowa's not expecting much at all. Got 21 hundredths down here in Ottumwa, and we've got 19 hundredths over in Davenport. So looking at our lows for tonight, we got 47 in Sioux City, a nice warm 54 down in Council Bluffs, 56 in Des Moines, 52 in Marshalltown, 59 in Davenport. So looking at our highs for tomorrow, after that rain passes, it's actually be a pretty nice day across the state. 64 Council Bluffs, same here in Des Moines, 67 at Ottumwa, and 67 up here in Davenport. So looking ahead at the forecast for tonight, clouds early and the rain's going to move in later tonight, after midnight across the state, expecting a low of 52 degrees. Looking ahead, we got a rainy start tomorrow with light winds, around 62 degrees tomorrow for our high. Looking ahead at our 5-day forecast, got rain tomorrow, dry the rest of the week pretty much. Highs pretty much in the 60s, lowest days at 59 next Tuesday.
Let's take another look at tonight's trivia question. What is known as the windiest city in the United States? Is it A, Chicago, Illinois, B, Jackson, Wyoming, C, Amarillo, Texas, or D, Albany, New York? What do you guys think the answer is?
I'm leaning towards D, Albany.
I think
Yeah.
this is a trick question. I'm going to go with B, Jackson, Wyoming, because I don't think it can be Chicago.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Chicago. I'm from there. It's the windy city. I'm going with that one. So let's see the answer.
Let's take a look.
Oh.
Ooh,
Amarillo.
I would never have guessed
Texas.
that.
Yeah, no, me either.
Pretty warm wind down there, I bet.
Yeah.
Are you guys going to the game on Thursday? Looking forward to some nice weather?
Yes, I am going. I'm hoping we'll win, with our record.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll
Finally.
finally
Yeah.
pull out a win.
Finally,
It is
finally,
Iowa State
finally.
football, though.
That's
so
for sure.
You never
That's for
know.
sure. Yep. Well, that concludes our show tonight. Please be sure to follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook. You can find every show online at YouTube under our Size Eyes channel. See you next Thursday. Thank you for joining us.